Hello students, how are you? In the previous video, class 7th, we were discussing about the reproduction, asexual reproduction. Okay, in that we were discussing first the vegetative propagation. I hope all the methods of the vegetative propagation are clear. Let's move on to discuss another forms of asexual reproduction. In this video, we will be discussing about budding, spore formation, etc. Okay. So let's start from budding. Yeast is an organism that contains a single cell. It is a fungi, not a plant. It can propagate every few hours if the proper amount of nutrients are available to it. See students, whenever the division will takes place, it always requires the nutrients, or you can say the essential energy. And from where the energy will come? From these nutrients or the food. So it is said that it can propagate every few hours if the proper amount of nutrients are available to it. Okay, so it needs food for proper division. As the yeast finds favorable conditions, a small bulb-like projection produces from the yeast called bud. So, what are the favorable conditions now? What do you mean by favorable conditions? Favorable conditions are the conditions in which an organism can optimize to the fullest. Okay, when it performs to the fullest, or it performs its activities to the fullest. For example, the energy that it is producing is to the fullest. Okay, the function that it is doing it to the fullest. So these are the favorable condition. When the conditions are favorable, then it is definite that an organism will do the maximum work. But if the conditions are unfavorable, then the organism will do less amount of work. Clear? So as the yeast finds the favorable conditions, a small bulb-like projection is there, which is called bud. Now the bud grows gradually and then gets detached from the parent yeast. Detached means separate. So as the bud grows, it grows gradually, means slowly into the size, and after some times it gets separated from the parent yeast, or we can say it gets detached from the parent yeast. This new cell then grows, measures, and produces more cells. Now that detached bud, you can say it has become the new cell now, and that new cell now grows and becomes a full organism, that is yeast organisms, and then it again does the same processes, that it finds favorable conditions, form bulb like projection called bud, and then bud also again detached from the parent yeast, and this process keeps on continuing and keeps on producing more and more cells. Sometimes a chain of buds is formed which leads to the production of a large number of yeast all together. Okay. See, sometimes what happened, as I was telling you at this point, that bud grows gradually and then gets detached. Sometimes what happened, the bud does not detached. Sometimes there is a chain of buds, more than one buds are formed, and which leads to the production of large number of yeast all together. Okay, so it can also happen sometime. Clear students, these points? Read this point and then we will be moving forward. Now you can see the budding in yeast. What happens? See, the parent yeast, and then afterwards, after some time in favorable condition, a small bud is grown. Now that bud slowly grows, gradually it grows and then become a new yeast cell, and after that it get detached from the cell, and you can see the separated yeast cell, and it is a new organism. But sometime, as I told you, sometimes it doesn't get detached and there is a chain of yeast cells, but afterward, after some time, they also get detached and there are multiple yeast cells formed. Okay, so this is the budding process. Now I hope you diagrammatically it is also clear to you. Budding in yeast, what happens? The parent yeast is there, under the favorable conditions the bud is formed. That bud grows gradually, becomes a new yeast cell slowly and steadily, and then after that it sometimes it get detached and form new yeast cell, and sometimes there are multiple buds, and then after it gets detached to form new yeast cells. Clear? So if asked, the budding takes place in yeast. Okay, you need to remember the example, it is the most important. Next is fragmentation. algae like Spirogyra generally reproduce by the process of fragmentation, in which they divide themselves into multiple parts. As soon as the algae find enough water and nutrients, it fragments and grows into new individual. This process continues and algae multiply quickly in a short period of time. Okay, as the name suggests, fragmentation. Fragmentation means breaking into the pieces, and each pieces grows into a new individual. Where does it occur? It occurs in the algae like Spirogyra. Spirogyra, these generally reproduce by the process of fragmentation, in which they divide themselves into multiple parts. But when they will multiply, it is the important condition. When the algae find enough water and nutrients. Again, see, once there will be favorable conditions, then there are two things. The organism try to reproduce so that it can increase its number, okay, and it tries to metabolic activities faster, okay. So the activities that it performs to live, try to do it faster so that more and more energy can be produced if it finds the favorable conditions. So as soon as algae find enough water and nutrients, it fragments and grows into new individuals. This process continues and algae multiply quickly in a short period of time. You can see what is happening. This is a algae that is Spirogyra, okay. It breaks into the fragments, and after breaking into the fragments, both the fragments develop into the new algae, that is new Spirogyra. Clear? So this is fragmentation. Read these points and then we will be moving forward. Next type of asexual reproduction is spore formation. So let's start spore formation. Some plant contain spores that float in the air and causes asexual reproduction. A spore has a hard protective cover which protects it from unfavorable environmental conditions like temperature and humidity. So now you can see that the spores are formed when the unfavorable conditions are there. What does the spore help? The spore, it has protective cover, hard protective cover, so it protects itself from unfavorable environment. And what are the unfavorable environment conditions? Like high temperature, okay, high humidity, etc. As a result, the spores can travel long distances and survive for a long duration of time. Because it has hard protective cover, so it is very difficult to break that cover, and because of that the spores can travel long distances and survive for a long duration of time. Now important point comes now. As soon as they find favorable conditions such as moisture and nutrients, they germinate and form new plants. Okay, see, new plant will be formed only when there will be favorable conditions. Unless and until there are unfavorable conditions, there will be no new organism formed from the spores. Okay, as soon as they find the favorable conditions like moisture, nutrients, food, energy, etc., they will germinate and form new plants. For example, ferns and moss propagates in this way. Clear? So this is also the example of asexual reproduction. Now how the budding, or you can say fragmentation and spore formation, are asexual reproduction. You might have seen that all these three types of reproduction occur due to single parent. Okay, there is no fusion of the gamete, only there is single parent involved, and that single parent give rise to the new organism, or you can say the new daughter cells. The same you saw in budding, that from the main parent cell or a single cell new buds arises. Same you saw in fragmentation, that it was a single parent which fragmented into different pieces, and all the pieces give rise to new organism. And similarly in the spore formation, a single parent, it give rise to spores. A spore, it has a hard protective cover which protects it from the unfavorable conditions. Okay, and that's why it can survive for a long duration of time. As soon as they find favorable conditions such as moisture and nutrients, they germinate and form new plants. And the example, moss and ferns propagate in this way. You can see the spore formation in fungus. Mainly the spore formation is occurring in fungus. You can see the hypha and the sporangium, and the sporangium, inside it the formation of spores. Clear? And when they find favorable condition, the spores, they grow and germinate and form a new individual as it was. Okay, so important thing about asexual reproduction is it requires single parent. It does not require the gamete formation or the fusion. And third important thing, that the progeny, or you can say the offspring, or you can say the babies that are formed, they are almost identical to the parents, because there is no variation, there is no change in the asexual reproduction. Clear? So this completes the asexual reproduction. In the next video, students, we will be starting with sexual reproduction of the plant. Okay, till then students, stay inside your house, keep studying, okay, and take care of yourselves. Thank you and have a nice day.